Here's the uncomfortable truth. You might own an agency, but if you're still thinking like a freelancer, your growth is stuck on pause. I'm going to break down the 6 mindset traps that keep agency owners stuck wearing every hat, hustling more, earning less, and then wondering why things are not going the right way. I've seen these hidden beliefs sabotage even the greatest of creative leaders, and also watched agency owners flip the script, step into real leadership, and finally unlock the growth that they had been chasing for years. And if you're ready to leave that freelancer mode behind and run your agency like a true business owner, this is the reset that you need. The first myth is I'm just a freelancer and I'm hired to do the things that other people need. And the reality is that you should start looking at yourself, believing and then introducing yourself as a partner with your clients. The reality is that when a business is engaging with an agency, they're doing so that they can solve a business challenge. And it's no different than any other business challenge, whether that's a lawyer, whether that's a scientist, whether that's an accountant, it doesn't really matter what it is that they're challenged with. They are needing an expert within that given field. And you are an expert in your field in your own right as a creative being able to solve a business challenge, whether that's a marketing challenge, a brand challenge, a website challenge. You are a needed resource, a needed partner for them to be able to reach the next step of growth. And so you need to own the impact that you're having, the need that they have in order to be able to achieve their next level of growth. The next myth is having an agency sounds cool, more impressive, but I'm not sure that's actually what I want. What you want is actually the thing that's the most important. And you need to be specific in yourself and actually truly understand what this means for you. What is this going to create? Because the reality is that business ownership, hiring a team, doing all that work, it does have its challenge. Is this a legacy thing that you're looking for? Is this to be able to create for more income? Are you trying to create wealth? Are you trying to have more impact? What exactly is the reason why you want to do this? Because the reality is that potentially being a freelancer to have a lifestyle business that is providing you with income is a very valid option if that's what you want. And no judgment at all for you. If that's the thing that you're looking for, then that's the thing that you should have. Don't let me or anyone else tell you that you should have and want something more than what you want or different than what you want. But being clear on what that is really important. Not saying that that doesn't change and hasn't shifted even for myself in the things that I've wanted throughout life. It does. But making sure that you have what that North Star is for you, that thing that is driving you, that energy piece for you, is vital to be able to understand where it is that you're headed. Don't try to take what you think that you should want and the belief that you should want. It is actually what you want. The next myth is the money that I'm making should actually fuel my lifestyle and that I should be able to enjoy every single piece of it right now. And so this is where a lot of people ultimately end up going wrong, because business can have a little bit of some ups and downs, right? You have more profitable years, more profitable months. And if you are consistently growing your lifestyle alongside your profit, it actually ends up creating for a real hinge point for you. And it actually removes a whole lot of opportunity and a whole lot of potential for you. One of the things that's really important here is that as you continue to grow, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have anything aspects of niceties and some aspect of lavishness, you can have that, but I'm saying that just keep it minimal. The ideal for you would be as you continue to grow the income that you're bringing in, if you're able to maintain your lifestyle, your basic needs are covered, your mortgage is paid for, all of those things are taken care of, then you want to actually start to just maintain your existing lifestyle. And every dollar that you're earning, you're able to build cash reserves. You're able to invest those dollars either back into your business or in another investment vehicle, allowing for you to start to create, for you to have some cushion, to have the ability to have something to fall back on. When you end up in a place where you have to make choices, you have to adjust, you have to pivot, those give you opportunities in those moments. But for those of you that have grown your lifestyle alongside your profitability growth, you end up in a place when that happens, when you need to make a pivot, when the economy takes a turn, you end up with no options. You end up with nothing to be able to fall back on. And it's vital that you make sure that you have something to show for all that hard work that you've had, and that you have some savings, you have some wealth that you've continued to build. The next myth is if I offer every service that people want, then I'm never going to run out of clients. There's always people that are going to want to pay me. And here's the thing, it actually creates for the exact opposite dynamic. The more things that you end up doing, the less things that you do well. The more things that you end up offering, the less that you're able to differentiate. So the less that you're able to attract, the more that you end up competing based on price. So it ends up actually being a spiral to the bottom. And it's a true problem. It really is. And I understand the reason why. It's because in a lot of instances, you have someone come in, you have a good client, they end up trusting you, and you end up being in a place where they ask you for these additional services. And so you say, yeah, sure, I can do that. It's something that seems tangential, it may even be closely related, and you're like, I'll just figure it out. But the reality is that in order for you to be able to grow the business, assuming that is what you want to do, you need to be able to not be involved in everything. And even in those examples is that you haven't done this. So doing something for the first time, if you're anything like me, presumably you didn't do the thing the best time the first time round. You didn't just, I'm great at this. It's not, at least it hasn't been how my life has worked. And the reality is that you should focus on the things that you do really well. You should focus on the things that intrigue you, that make you excited, that you're able to have greater impact for the client, because that is real. The true value transfer ends up happening. That exchange of value for funds of what it is that we are in the business of is vital in that moment. So the more that you focus on the thing that you do really well, the less that you offer, and focus more actually ends up creating more opportunity for you. The next myth that is a big one, and I understand this one a lot because there's been lots of ebbs and flows myself, but no one else can do the things that I do in the way that I do them, and hiring is a risk that I can't afford. So here's the thing. There's aspects of truth in that you may have decades worth of experience. You may have a specific way that you go about doing things. And the reality is that are people going to do it 100% of the way that you did it? No, they're not. But the reality is that if you're not able to bring on people to be able to start to do some of the work that you have, then you're not going to grow. And that's okay if you want to stay the freelancer, but if you do want to have a growing business, an agency, a true bona fide agency, you're going to have to be able to start to delegate things to other people. And my own journey with this came to the realization that there was a big oriented ego piece of it, and that there was lots of work that other people could do, and people that were better at it, more interested in it, they were able to do the things that I frankly just didn't even want to do, that I was disinterested in, wasn't excited about doing in the first place. And we need to start to vacate some of the areas within the business, and that if you go into hiring with a plan, you bring on someone part-time or even a contractor to begin with, you're able to remove things from your plate that frankly are draining your day-to-day, that are not allowing for you to do the thing that you do really well, and it's creating for a lot of problem within your business. And the last is, if I say no to low-paying work, I might not have enough to live on. And so there's a couple of things, but the reality is that what I find to be most often here is that your lowest paying clients are often the ones that take up the most of your time and attention. And it ends up creating for a really true block for you to be able to grow your business. And so the reality of what I would want you to do here, if you do have low-paying clients or you're considering them, bringing them on, it was that opportunity moment that I was talking about earlier. Is this a thing that you really truly have to do in this moment in order for you to be able to have your own basic life necessities met? Paying for food, paying for housing, that sort of thing. And if you don't do it, then you're going to end up without it. Okay, fine. That's a different conversation. We'll take that and put that aside for a moment. But for many of you, you're saying no to these low-paying clients so that you're able to maintain your team and the salaries the way that they are. You're able to maintain your expenses as they are, both personal lifestyle as well as business expenses. And you're actually delaying what is needed to be a today choice that you need to be making. And the reality is that you should operate your business like a business. That taking low-paying work doesn't allow for you to live another day. Taking low-paying work is actually what is going to be your demise. It actually creates for a lot of the problem that I see happening in a lot of agencies. It actually is what is creating for those lowest margins and creating for you to question yourself and what it is that you have as a value in the beginning to begin with. And it's a true problem. But the reality is, even if you have the right mindset shifts, most agency owners still hit that invisible wall. They're stuck repeating habits that keep them in the same place. If you've ever wondered why some agency seems to continuously explode with growth, it's almost always comes down to a tiny high-impact habits that they practice daily. In my next video, I'll break down the 5 most powerful habits to start building real unstoppable momentum. Let's grow your agency one game-changing habit at a time.